and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
Hey boys. Sound of Silence brought to you by Rough Draft, who are in the process of they're our main sponsors. Patrick O'Brien and Swift Pine Lodge is one of our other sponsors. So the lads, if you saw the logo there, is actually, and you can see the hoodie in the background. So basically they're into skater hoodies and such like. So pretty cool stuff.
Check them out on Facebook. Rough Draft page on Facebook. Got some great gear.
They're just as you can see there, they're working on some logos for us as well. So they're in the mix at the moment. We don't quite know what we're gonna go with. And if those eagle-eyed among ye, and there are many, hits keep coming on YouTube, thanks be to God. You can see there a certain Irishman with the old tricolour. Mr. Aaron, and we actually had to redo the intro due to a technical difficulty which we haven't had too many of them, thanks be to God. So you can see there he does a little movie which is a bit ramshackle to say the least. It wouldn't be up to Gary's high standards. So lads, it's week 10. We're getting near the business end of the season. And it's getting late here as well. It's nearly 7:30. So we have to redo the intro about 2 hours after we started the show. All right. So hopefully this should segue nicely. Do you want to say anything there, Queef? Are you happy in your nappy?
And let's move on to the stuff we recorded earlier.
Okay.
And no.
Like Gary did a brilliant job last week. Very well edited, the whole no expense spared. Fox is a student doing nothing else all week, he plenty of time to do his reports from Boston and Chicago and all the rest of his drinking exploits, but no. So apparently he met some nice girls from Cleveland. So maybe that file will come down in the line or maybe not. I don't know.
Apparently it's in cyberspace on its way to us as we speak.
Okay, it might hit this episode, it might not hit this episode. So just go back again, digressing. We've got a couple of different logos there, so the boys are still working on that. So give us a bit of feedback there if you want, boys. And okay, that is the intro over with. News.
All right, we'll start with this week's news. A few short little tidbits. Indianapolis Colts quarterback and pretty much their only chance for making the playoffs, Andrew Luck, has been ruled out for 2 to 6 weeks with a lacerated kidney, which has already taken Keenan Allen's season away.
Yeah, lacerated kidney seems to be the injury du jour in the NFL.
Yeah. It's a trendy injury to have.
My supposed number one quarterback in the fantasy league, I've actually sat him out for the last 3 weeks because Philip Rivers is doing so well. Now Philip Rivers is actually after running out of targets. There's been so many injuries on the Chargers front. They even managed to lose to the
Bears.
To the Bears and made Jay Cutler look good. Actually Philip Rivers on bye. Anyway, that's enough news. I need a quarterback.
Yeah, we can discuss that in the fantasy section later.
Okay, yeah, but it's all about me, it's all about me. Me.
All right, so this injury means that the terrible AFC South has now become even more terrible, and we could be looking at a 6-7 win team hosting a playoff game.
I'll have to stop you right there now, okay? There actually is going to be an AFC playoff preview, so you're actually cutting across yourselves there. We'll be discussing all that later on with our guest.
Radio. Moving on, Wes Welker has signed for the Rams after being out in obscurity for the best part of half a season anyway.
I thought the last time I saw a picture of Welker, wasn't it? He looked like he was after a couple of ding dongs, disco biscuits, whatever. Did he say you reckon he was spiked at, was it the Kentucky Derby or something
That's
like
what
that?
they all say, isn't it?
Yeah, I wish. But did he play last year? He did, didn't he? Was he injured for a good bit of it?
He played at the start. I think he got injured.
Yeah, but he's had a lot of concussion problems and stuff, hasn't he?
Yeah. He's got a weak head.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's back in the NFL for how long we shall see. Aqib Talib has been suspended for 1 game for trying to take the eyes out of Dwayne Allen. It was a pretty disgusting maneuver
if he was
by
John
him.
Pierre Paul, it'd be.
Yeah. So I think 1 game suspension. I think he got off lightly. It was
Yeah, the
pretty horrific thing to look at.
The much vaunted Denver Broncos defense is starting to, they always say they're predicated on being, they can bend but don't break, but they're showing signs of breaking. So now, they lost to the Colts last week, which was Andrew Luck's first really. I'll just go back to Andrew Luck. Like, that was his first where he actually looked like Andrew Luck, and then he got the injury. But the Broncos, they just got they never came out to play, did they?
No. It wasn't their best performance by a long shot. But they were due a loss. They were kind of 7-0. They were, I don't think
they were overperforming.
Yeah.
Well, everybody was after they beat the Packers.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, they're the best team ever. I even mentioned this last week. Can we just try and get a small bit of parity or something? It can't be just you don't go from being a brilliant team 1 week to being a terrible team the next week. So yeah, they came off.
Some teams do that though.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
There's a lot of Jekyll and Hyde teams this year. All right. Finally, we Big Ben, who was out for a good 4 or 5 weeks, came back, and in the second game back has done himself some more harm. Now he hasn't ruled himself out of this weekend's game, but it seems really unlikely that he's going to play, and they're on bye next week, so he'll be looking to be back for the game against the Browns in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, and it's probably going to be Landry that's starting, is it, rather than Michael Vick?
Yeah, Vic's injured as well, so yeah,
Vick is injured as well.
yeah. It's it's funny.
Now, I know. I think this is the most. Like, obviously, I'm not following the NFL as closely as this for a couple of years. But there seems to be a lot more injuries this year than there was last year. All the players that are, I would say if you listed everybody that was injured, there must be 15 or 20 of the top guys.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a bad season for big name players going down, with over half the season left.
Yeah.
Maybe the wrong choice of words there. Bad phraseology. Maybe. Yeah. Right. So that's the news.
Is that it?
Yeah. 4 bits of news.
All right. What do we do next? So are we gonna go straight to our guest?
I think so. So just a brief introduction. We've had him on before. Declan McCormack, our residence Jets expert. He's going to preview the Jets-Bills game.
Yeah.
And give us his take on the AFC, which seems to be in the hands of the Patriots at the moment. But the Bengals are certainly looking like a team that could take the division or the conference title. The man who we're ringing at the moment has actually voicemail.
Yeah, we'll try it once more.
Try it once more. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, Decky's going to preview the so-called Rex Bowl.
Happening tomorrow night.
Okay. Okay, maybe he might ring us back in a minute. All right, this is a bit of a bummer.
Do you want to pause the?
No, we'll just keep speaking.
Okay.
We will just go look at a few of the other games there. So
Will we just go on to our picks, so we'll try them again in about 20 minutes?
yeah, go on to start on the picks there. So yeah.
All right. We'll leave the Jets game till
We'll leave Decky's picture up there for the moment. Okay, all right.
Hopefully
he
we
might ring us back in a second.
Hopefully we might get a hold of him. All right, so we'll start with first of the Sunday games. The undefeated Panthers go to the Titans, who knocked off New Orleans in the Superdome last week. Carolina beat Green Bay, got off to a flyer of a lead, and let them back into it and nearly shot the course towards the end, but held on for the win. Spread is you can get the Titans plus 4.5 points at home. I think this is a bit on the low side, so I've taken Carolina to continue their undefeated season and cover those 4.5 points.
You just took the words out of my mouth. I think the Carolina will win and they will cover.
They will cover. Okay.
They will cover.
All right, we're on the same page there. Now the Bears go to the Rams. The spread here, the Rams -7 at home against the Bears, who good comeback victory against San Diego Monday night. Now San Diego are fairly useless, so here he is.
Okay, we might as well take this. So
Okay, we'll take it.
hello.
Hello, Bob. Sorry.
That's all right.
Seems like my phone
That's okay. It's okay. That's fine.
dropped out or something.
I always wanted to get the dial tone on air anyway. So Declan, how are you?
I'm good, sir, and yourself?
I'm good. So look, what we'll do, we're gonna have a quick chat about the Rex Bowl,
Okay.
and then we'll just have go through the AFC playoffs, and just go through division by division and who we reckon is gonna hit the wild card, and
Okay, no matter.
All right. So without further anything else, just issue us forth. So actually, you know what? Before I do, right, I'm actually going to read out your little blurb, because that would be unfair of you to be. Now we've got a nice little picture of you up on Facebook
Oh, Jesus
in
Christ.
your with your Jets gear on. So,
Right.
Declan McCormack, Jets fan and closet Patriots aficionado, conspiracy theorist and ball pressure guru. I said we won't. I didn't mention it about kicking walls, losing
No,
flips.
that's fair enough.
I'm not mentioning that. All right, that will not be mentioned on.
I'm currently trying to build walls anyway, put them up and keep them down.
Well,
right?
well, good luck with your new venture. I believe you've won Cork's top builders.
Lad, stop. I'm on the second, the stories now, the second time round, like I've heard them all before. Yeah, one of Cork's
top builders.
Top Bobs, by a top Bob he is. Look, he's grand, but Jesus Christ.
And is he a good man for getting the job done? I suppose he just didn't know there's no cup of tea in the morning, no chat, straight down to the job. Is that the picture I'm painting?
I take it out this isn't being recorded, like.
No. I've actually one more thing to ask about you there. You are actually an avid Cork City fan as well. Would that be true, isn't it?
Lad, I've been City till we die since fucking my father took me out there in 87 or 88, I'd say, and I've been going since, like.
Okay, no, I'm going to keep this brief. No.
Right.
Cork City were in the final of the FAI Cup. Now, when they lost in extra time 1-0, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No,
yes.
You were at the game, weren't you?
I was at the game. I was up there Sunday.
Yeah. And were you at the pre-match? Were you one of those prawn sandwich brigade?
No, I wasn't at that gig.
Were you maybe in Lansdowne rugby club having your roast beef and such?
Certainly not. This is gospel truth. We were on the club train, there was a special train, fans train.
Yeah.
And it was leaving Kent Station, stopping in Cork and stopping in Charleville.
Yeah.
And we were standing on the platform in Mallow as the train went, woo, straight through Mallow Station.
That was unfortunate.
Seemingly the driver didn't know he was to stop in Mallow according to the train.
There was no Cork City fans in Mallow. Was there a good few of you on the platform waiting for the...
32, I think.
Oh, my God. But anyway, like there was a match, like there's other guys there, you know. They just Johnny come latelys. They go up for the match, and they ride the old gravy train.
For the record, there was no prawn sandwiches. To be honest, the food was subpar.
Of course, sorry, it's only after dawn and I mean, where you're going, Bob. My apologies.
Oh, sure, like, you know, why go from A to B when you go through C, D, E, F, G, H, and enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey.
So look, all bandwagoners are welcome, right? I mean, you know, it wouldn't be the first bandwagon Queeve was on. Ask him in 10 years' time if he's still a Patriots fan. He's where he was always thinking all his life, you know.
Below the belt.
All right, look, anyway, back to the matter on hand, as Dr. Dre used to say. Or was it Snoop Dogg, actually? Snoop Dogg. On to the next episode. Let's give us your take on the Rex Bowl.
The Rex Bowl. Sure, look. I mean, you're falling into Rex's trap anyway. He'll love you by calling it the Rex Bowl in the first place, you know. Take on the Rex Bowl. Look, it could be anything, Bob. I'll be honest. It's the Jets are so decimated in key areas with injuries, and plus the Bills seem to have bounced back a little bit against the Dolphins.
They seem to have gotten healthy.
Well, I suppose I think their whole season depends on Tyrod Taylor as well, having a bit of stability at quarterback. Obviously, E.J. Manuel, we've talked about him ad nauseum after the fiasco that was in Wembley. He's not the answer. It depends on Tyrod Taylor, and as Carlos Williams is after rejuvenating himself as well, back from injury. But the Jets, what's going to happen with them, Mike?
Yeah, you mean, look, I mean, if you go online and you read any of the Jets forums, one of Bulls is getting hammered, you know? Absolutely hammered. Special teams are getting... No, the special team situation deserves to be hammered. I mean, it's a joke. Like, it's an absolute joke. But you can't solve everything in one off-season, you know? And I'm sure they know what they need to do going forward. Look, the game Thursday night is a huge game because... And I know you're going to go on to the AFC in a minute, but you're probably looking at two teams from four, which will be the Jets, the Steelers, the Oakland Raiders, and the Bills for two playoff spots, you know?
Yeah.
The head-to-head records, which are going to be the tiebreakers, will be huge. So, I mean, not alone if the Jets beat the Bills on Thursday night, do they get to 6-3? They also have a tiebreaker over the Bills, you know?
Yeah.
And vice versa. And the last game of the season, of course, week 17 in Buffalo is Buffalo at home to the Jets, you know?
So that's going to be huge as well, yeah.
Could be huge. That could be a playoff game in itself, you know?
Yeah.
Winner
goes to the playoffs, yeah.
Well, I suppose, like, you have to say, I would think, well, obviously it depends on how serious Big Ben's injury. We'll just kind of, you know, keep on the AFC playoff thing there.
Yeah.
If you would say that the Steelers are probably favourites for the 5th slot, and it's basically the between the Raiders, the Bills, and the Jets for the sixth spot.
As you said, it's Ben's injury. What is the injury? How long is he going to be out for? If Big Ben is out for a long time, then I don't think I'm not sure they even make the playoffs. Now, they might making the 5th spot.
Yeah.
The key thing about the 5th spot, you go to the 4th spot. The Colts are going to be the 4th spot, and if you're a wild card, you want to go to the Colts. You know?
Well, I suppose the other kind of maybe flying the ointment as well is between the Raiders and the Chiefs. The Chiefs are after putting a couple of wins together, which they're going playing the Broncos this weekend, I think, aren't they?
No, yeah, they are. Yeah, they're going to Mile High. Yeah.
So that could be another one. See how the Broncos react to losing last week. So the AFC playoff picture, and obviously the whole fiasco in the South, that's anybody's baby at the moment. You know, there's
absolutely that in the AFC South, like I'm sure we're blue in the face from saying it's the weakest division, quite possibly in the history of the NFL. Like, you know.
Yeah, well, at the same time, like, you know, there's signs of life from the Titans and the Jaguars. Like the Jets were quite lucky to beat the Jags last week.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the Jets could be in if they lost that game, they'd be in deepo, Bruno. But they still have a chance, and it's just basically who's gonna stick their head above the parapet in the South. Like, you know, to be honest, with you, Mariota, I've been singing his praises and I ad nauseum. But like, you know, any team could go basically if they can string a few runs together, they're there, and they might actually have an effect. Affect who you know how the rest of it plays out. Obviously, the Pats are home and hosed, and
absolutely.
Well, I suppose it's handy having the AFC South and the NFC Least as their other matchups. You know, as usual, everything goes the way of Belichick's.
Yeah, well, to be fair, no, you have to say, like, I mean, the Bills and the Jets have the same matchups. Like, I mean, in terms of chasing playoff spots and everything else, like, you know, it's in their favour this year. Like, definitely, no, you know. The Jets. Yeah,
so that's I suppose the only whereas the AFC North have got the AFC West and the NFC West, which you would say strength of schedule there could be a problem for the Steelers coming down the line, and obviously obviously then in the AFC West they've got the NFC North and the AFC North as their schedule, so they're pretty tough opponents there as well.
Yeah, no, and that's why, I mean, it is quite conceivable that the Jets and the Bills both make the playoffs. You know, that there's 3 teams out of the AFC North in the playoffs. You know,
there was last year, wasn't there?
Not from the North anyway. No.
I thought then the Steelers and the Ravens made the playoffs last. Yeah, the Steelers made the playoffs last year, and the Ravens.
The Steelers did. I don't think the Ravens did.
Sorry,
the Ravens did.
Well, sure, they lost in Foxborough after being up 2 touchdowns twice.
Yeah. And I remember even at one stage, the Browns were actually leading division at 7-4, and they managed to lose their last 4 games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I got confused. But I meant to say AFC East, not AFC North. The Bills and the Jets could all be playoff home this year.
Possibly, yeah. Well, there always seems to be one division where there could possibly be 3 going through. Yeah. Obviously when there's one division as weak as the South, it kind of skews everything, and it's up to the divisional matchups then, I suppose. Yeah. Look, I'm actually gonna give a screen pass here to my old buddy, keeping up our last week's QB analogy. And what have you got to say about the chances of the Patriots making the playoffs?
Well, I think it's a battle for the 1 seed between Pats and Cincinnati at this stage. Hopefully all Pats go through Foxborough like they did last year. So, but the Bengals are looking, they're looking as good as the Pats, if not better. And it's looking like that's going to be the AFC Championship game. Hopefully the Raiders won't be in it. Anyway, just as a sidebar, on our Raiders. Our Raiders bet. I got very lucky last week. Steelers just hanging on for the win. I think if Oakland had won that, I was toast. I could be toast either way, but I have the remaining 8 fixtures here, Deck, and I want to see how many of them you think Oakland are going to win. So we'll start off this week. They're home to the Vikings.
I think they'll win.
Okay, then they go to the Lions.
I think they definitely win.
Okay, then they go to the Titans.
Absolute certainties.
Home to KC.
Yeah, they win that. Yeah.
Well, that's your 8 then, so we don't even need to go any further, really, do we? They go to Denver.
No, they're certainties in Denver.
All right, okay. Then they host Green Bay.
Yeah, win that.
Win that. Host San Diego.
Win that.
And then they go to KC, which is, an absolute banker win.
So they win that as well. Yeah,
that makes them 12-4. That makes them 12-4. 12-4.
Are we talking possible Super Bowl champions here?
Yeah. No, to be fair, look, I know I'm messing, but I think they have 4 very winnable games there.
I think they probably do have 4 winnable games in those 8.
They're very and they're always capable of causing an upset or causing a surprise.
It's going to come down to the 2 games against KC, the 2 divisional games against KC.
I definitely fancy them to at least split those games,
Yeah, if they split them, I reckon I'm in trouble. I'd like to see the Vikings beat them in Oakland this weekend. That would be nice, but...
Do you know what? Again, if Teddy was playing, I would have said, no bother, but I think the drop off from Teddy is significant for the Vikings. You know.
Is he definitely out?
He's out. Oh, sorry. After he didn't go through the concussion protocol.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I suppose, like, in fairness, you know, we you know, the old days. I was actually watching a Football Live there the other day about Terrell Owens and Mike Shannon. He got, you know, he used to suffer from migraine headaches as well. And I think it was his Super Bowl '98 or could have been that year. But, like, he was basically, you know, his head was split wide open from migraine headaches. And Shanahan said, just to suit up there, and we'll just use you as a decoy. We won't actually throw you the ball. But there was no player welfare, was just non-existent.
No, not in the slightest. I mean, Chris, I know I keep coming back to the Jets. Chris Owusu has been placed on an injured reserve because he's had three or four concussions already this year. Like, and I don't think the man ever suits up in the NFL again. You know.
Yeah.
They're just not going to allow it. They're at that stage now.
They did actually settle. What was Junior Seau, like, isn't it that whole fiasco scenario there after that when his life ended tragically. All right, I'm getting the hurry up here from Queeve. Look, so we'll be just
Can we just get your? Do you think that the Jets tomorrow night will cover their 2.5 points that they've been?
You know what? I looked at it a while ago, and the first thought in my head was the Bills' money against is very tempting. Like, I never would, but it's just Nick Mangold, Calvin Pryor, Nick Folk has gone out. They signed your man Randy Bullock.
He was with the Houston.
He was released by the Texans. Like, I mean, there's just significant injuries there, you know.
And what's the story? Is Fitzy going to be all right? He's just going from strength to strength this year, isn't he?
Who was that, Bob? Sorry.
Super Fitz, yeah.
I mean, the thumb. I mean, he's scheduled to have surgery on Friday. Like, the thing to take from the Fitz situation is that Geno Smith is finished in New York, you know.
Oh yeah.
There's no place, and
he's got no trade value whatsoever, I would say, is he?
No. He's just done and dusted.
And he's got 1 year left in his contract, is he, or is this his last year?
Third year of the rookie contract. They'll probably fuck him up and release him, you know. It's just, he came on against Oakland and the stats were fantastic. 235 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. The problem was the sacks he took at the time he took them, you know.
Oh.
Just say, I don't have a football brain, and I think they decided after that game. I think they would have
he just really he signed his own debt warrant, really, didn't he?
Yeah,
you know?
I think they would have rolled Fitz out in the wheelchair that Sunday, you know.
Yeah. With the whole fiasco then, when he had to go off injured after taking it really heavy. But I don't actually agree. You know, the Oakland Raiders defender ended up getting charged with roughing the passer afterwards. I thought he was. I know it was a pretty solid hit, but I thought.
Yeah, I have to admit, no, I haven't seen that. But I mean, he hit him all right, the crown of the helmet, but he caught him, you know, with the crown of the helmet in the hand. Like, I mean, it's not helmet to helmet. I'm surprised to hear that. No, I have to say.
Yeah.
I am surprised.
It looked like it was a very heavy shot, but I thought it looked legit in my mind at the time as I was watching the game.
I mean, to be fair to the defender, he has no control over where Fitzgerald has his hand, you know.
Yeah. No, I'm actually talking about the hit on Geno.
Oh, on Geno. Sorry, my apologies. All right. Again, I'd agree with you there as well. It was a hard hit, but look.
I thought it was fair. Okay, look, Queeve is give me the eye again. So Dick, thanks again for taking our call, and I hope you like your picture up there now, you know. He knows.
That I just know without ever seeing it, it's not a good picture. I don't
think. No. We went through. That one with the dog was interesting. I will say no more. We can.
I'm not photogenic, Bob. It's not my. You know.
I tell you, the green actually looks. The green looks well on you.
All right, okay, fair enough.
There's one or two photographs there with the old grey tracksuit, and we said, no, we leave them off. We leave them ones off.
I live in those grey tracksuits. Wait till you see the state of the Jets jerseys tomorrow night.
All right.
The luminous green, go
Ooh.
faster green, or whatever they call it. Oh my God!
Ooh.
They're like I don't know, like 56 Cormac the Frogs on the pitch or something. You know. Wait till you see it. It's horrific.
Can't
stuff,
wait.
Right?
All right. So cheers, Decky.
Another day.
So, and as I said the other day, like and share, put it up on your own Facebook page. All right.
Nobody visits my page. Only two blokes tweeting my pictures. You know?
All right. So cheers,
Go
Decky.
on, mind yourself.
Cheers, bye. Talk to you later.
Take care, guys. Mind yourselves. Good luck.
Thank you. We had to have a bit of phone fiasco, I suppose. Anyway, yeah. So at 25-6 local time, we just go through the rest of the picks.
Okay. I think he's obviously not going to go against his Jets, so he picked the Jets minus 2.5. I've taken the Bills plus 2.5 because I think with Tyrod Taylor back, they've got themselves healthy. They've Sammy Shady, even though he's doubtful. Carlos Williams came back from concussion last week and had a stormer of a game, so I don't think they have any problem with running back. So
yeah, I think the Bills will win, and they should cover handily.
Right. We've done the Carolina game where we're just about to do the Bears at the Rams when he phoned us back. So Bears at the Rams. Rams home -7. They ran the Vikings close last week in Minnesota. 3-point defeat. Bears good win in San Diego Monday night. I've taken the Rams at home because they don't tend to concede a lot of points at home, and the Bears, look, they got the win in San Diego, but it wasn't an impressive win by any stretch.
I'm gonna go for the Rams to win, but not to cover. So basically,
to win by under 7. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going for the taking the Bears basically there.
Okay. Now we have the Browns going to the Steelers. Steelers -4.5. Obviously, well, as I said earlier, Ben has not ruled himself out, but I think it's extremely unlikely that he's going to play. I think McCown's back for the Browns. Johnny Football came in for one game and didn't really do the business. They had a good first half, but they just got creamed in the second half by the good Bengals team. So because Ben is out, and obviously Lev Bell is out, even though D'Angelo Williams has been a very good substitute. I've taken the Browns plus 4.5. That Josh McCown's back. I think they can put up some points.
Yeah, it's like these divisional games. They're always close matchups, and it's the traditional rivalry within the division. Okay, so you've gone with the Browns, but
I'm taking the points.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go against you there. Seeing as in the overall scheme of things, I'm one behind you now. Isn't that right?
Yep.
We're still both running at under 500 or just about 500.
For
the
percentage,
season on
our
our
win
picks.
percentage is pretty shocking. But we'll continue the contest. Yeah, I'm one ahead going into this week. Right, so we move on. Cowboys go to the Bucks. Two teams that are, especially Dallas are on this terrible slide because they just can't win without Romo. And the Bucks, I thought, would have put up a better showing against the Giants last week, but they didn't. So I'm taking the Bucks here basically because they are at home and have their QB1 playing. Matt Castle, I don't think he can get it done on the road, so I'm taking the Bucks -1.5.
Wow. So the Dallas are they on a 6-game losing streak now? I think is it something like that?
I'm not sure of the exact number,
Yeah,
but
well,
they
I
haven't
think
won a
they
game since
haven't won
Romo went down.
Romo's gone out, yeah. So
Yeah.
I
I think that trend will continue.
yeah, I'll take the Bucks. I'll take
Okay.
the Bucks as well. What's the spread? 1.5. Is it?
1.5, yeah.
Bucks to
Bucks
win
all the way.
and to cover. Yeah, it's not much to cover.
Yeah. All right, the Lions coming off bye week after the London Town massacre. Go to, where would you want to go after a bye week?
Green Bay.
A divisional game in Green Bay, who haven't lost a home game in 88 million years.
I was actually hoping to hear from Gary, our resident Lions
I'm sure we
fan.
can get him on next week if
He might,
need
yeah. I think the Lions haven't actually won in over 10 years up there. I know I could be wrong, but something like that. And what have they?
That's a long time.
Have they got a lot? Have they got a big spread to
11 and a half.
Yeah. I think Green Bay obviously they're after losing 2 on the trot.
To 2 unbeaten teams though.
Yeah.
Away from home.
They did come back into it.
And I think they looked pretty good towards the end of the Carolina game, but they just left too much of a mountain to climb.
What about the there's a bit of argument there. Clinton Dix, he wasn't very ha-haing to one of his defensive players. Did you actually hear what was?
No, I didn't see any of this game.
Yeah, there was. They showed it on TV. There was a bit of an altercation. There was. I don't know actually what happened afterwards.
Yeah,
I have to suss that out. But all is not well. Green Bay. They're always saying they're all a team, no hassle. But actually, it was actually quite unusual to see that happening.
So what do you reckon? 11 and a half points.
That's a lot. At the same time, yeah, I will go with Green Bay. I think I'll go Green Bay to win and to cover.
Yeah, I've gone Green Bay as well. Okay, the Jags go to the Ravens. Ravens coming off by Jags' narrow defeat to the Jets last week. Ravens are 5.5 point favourites at home. And this was a tough one for me. I sided with the Jags in the end because I think the Ravens win, but by a field goal or something like that.
I mean, I have exactly the same thoughts of that. Like basically, the Raiders don't have any they've no offense. Like they've
Ravens.
Who have they got? The Ravens have nobody. Like yeah. Steve Smith was the only guy of any note that was catching any ball. Crockett Gilmore, we laugh about him. Crockett Chitmore, but like.
They still have Forsett at running back, who's putting up some numbers, but
he's
if you've got no targets down the field,
he's not putting up half the numbers that he was getting last year, I would say.
Yeah, but he's having
Yeah, obviously, like Gary Kubiak was doing a good job with them last year. He had a nice scheme. I don't know who the OC is there. Is it Tressman? Is it? I think they pick up Mark Tressman.
I don't know.
I think they picked up Mark Tressman,
the ex-Bears,
head coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he doesn't seem to be getting. It's not. Well, you need some weapons as well, and it's they're not getting it done. So yeah, I think the Jags could win this, or else more than likely Baltimore, as the Jags seem to be incapable of winning. They're just not into that groove. So I think the Jags either win narrowly. Or Baltimore probably win narrowly.
I don't think there's not going to be a blowout here. I don't think.
Yeah. So yeah, we're on the same page there.
All right, Miami go to Philly. Miami on the back of a bad loss at the Bills, and Philly beat the Cowboys and Jerry World on Sunday Night Football, which is not the hardest thing in the world to do. Philly at home, the spread is -6.5 points. Again, this was a close one. I've gone for the home team -6.5 because I think as the weeks go on, DeMarco Murray is getting better. They got plenty of weapons on the receiver end as well. Sam Bradford's not great, but
he's not terrible. He's not. He's just meh.
But as I say, Chip Kelly's offense doesn't require a quarterback.
Quarterback proof, but they're saying I suppose the one big disappointment for Philadelphia this year. Whatever about the running back situation with DeMarco Murray and Ryan Matthews is what's the name of the wide receiver?
Jordan Matthews,
yeah. I think he had a great relationship with Sanchez last year, and it just seems to be no chemistry, or he just doesn't seem to be able to catch any of.
He actually had a decent game, the last game now on Sunday night, but that was his first. Yeah. That was his first week actually getting kind of decent fantasy scores.
Okay. We'll see. Yeah.
So I think Philly, might win it by a touchdown.
Yeah, I'll go the same. So we're there's a lot of man marking here. It's hard to get away.
Yeah. All right. The Jekyll and Hyde Saints go to the Redskins. Spread is Skins at home plus a point. I've taken the Skins here plus a point because, I mean, we don't know what Saints team is going to turn up. They lost at home to Tennessee last week.
It's two bad teams. So I'm gonna. You're going. Yeah,
but I think the Redskins have performed admirably at home so far.
Yeah, and there's Deshaun Jackson. Is he gonna make? Did he? I don't think he played last week. Did he?
I think he suited out, but I don't think he
didn't feature.
So I reckon he'll definitely be playing this weekend.
They basically just laid down and died against the Pats last week. Your boy Jordan Reed had a couple of nice fantasy score, didn't he?
Yeah, for an away game against the Pats, he had a touchdown and a few receptions, but nothing major.
This is a close one. It's endemic of the whole NFL. This is why you'd be crazy to bet on a lot of these matches.
Both teams are just sitting in the middle.
There's so many variables,
and they just beat each other week in, week out.
Look, I'll take the Saints. Maybe they'll bounce back after that abysmal performance from last week.
All right, okay. Now the Vikings go to Oakland. There's no spread available on this one as yet with the Teddy Bridgewater concussion situation. So I think Oakland win this game no matter whether he play. If he doesn't play, I think Oakland definitely win this game. But if he does play, I'd still back Oakland because they've been putting up 30-35 points a game. Their offense is fantastic. The defense isn't. It'll concede points, but I don't think the Vikings have the offense to outscore them.
Yeah, I'm Raiders all the way.
Right,
just win, baby.
Yeah. All right, divisional KC coming off the huge win in Wembley. Travelled to Mile High to play Denver, who suffered their first defeat of the season last week at Indianapolis. Spread is Denver at home -6. Again, I think the bookies have got this. I think there'll only be a touchdown in it. So I've sided with the home team. Denver to win by 7, so they cover the 6 points.
I'm going to go against you here. I think Denver to win, but not to cover.
Okay. Now we go to, obviously I'm biased, but game of the weekend in my views. The Pats go to the Giants. Their bogey team, 2 Super Bowl defeats going into the game. Pats superior team both times, get done twice. No, not get done as in unjust results, like get beaten twice by a better team on the day. But going into the game, Pats were superior team. But I think again, very interesting game. Giants are they top of the division? I think they're pretty much. I think they're on the same as Philly, but they might be second on divisional games or something like that. But the Giants they're having a decent season by their standards. The last couple of seasons have been poor for them. Patriots are obviously wiping everybody out left, right, and centre. But the Giants will fancy their chances in this one, I think.
And what's the spread?
The spread is 7. So, controversially enough, I've taken the Giants plus the 7 points. I fancy Patriots to win by between 3 and 7 points.
Okay, I'm going to take the Pats.
Especially with Dion Lewis going down, injured for the season.
Pats to win and to cover.
Pats to win and to cover, okay. Now, another big divisional game. The Cardinals go to the Seahawks.
Ooh. Now this is
a big game.
This is a big game.
This is the Sunday night.
The season-defining kind of a game.
Sunday night football prime time. Seahawks need the win to get back in the race for the division.
Well, the Cardinals have kind of hit a bit of a road bump along the way as well.
The Cardinals have a 2-game lead in the division.
Yeah.
And if they win this, obviously, they have a 3-game lead. But
so the Cardinals are 6-2 and the Hawks are 4-4.
Yeah. The spread is Seahawks -3 at home. Cardinals are coming off bye as well, which helps. But I went with the Seahawks -3 because I don't know why, because I don't think they're that good.
Well, you were giving out about them after
Again, it's the home field advantage thing.
Overcame Dallas.
Well, I was waiting on them for a bet, so that was
that's why there was a bit of vitriol there.
That was a big sweat.
Yeah. I'll have to go with the Hawks.
Of course. Finishing up Monday Night Football. The Texans go to the Bengals. Spread is 10 points. It should be 40. This is my absolute lock of the week. The Texans are terrible, and the Bengals are superb at home. This will be a blowout. 30 to 35 point win.
Boom. I have to agree with you there.
You can't disagree with that.
Yeah. So there aren't too many differences, I'd say.
We have five differentials.
Oh, yeah. You have to try and...
Teams on bye this week are Falcons, Colts, Chargers, 49ers. So
okay. Are we going to... that's next week. So we're going to go on to fantasy next? So?
Yeah.
All right, lads. We have been accused of kind of neglecting the whole Pine Lodge Fantasy League, so we're going to just try and speak in general terms. Just in a few seconds, we're just going to have to take a quick break there, and we leave you with a look at our sponsor once again. Oh, sorry, that's Decky.
Decky's our sponsor.
Oh my God. There you go. Here is that. Go. Okay, boys. Back there after a short break. So we have just hot enough the presses. Newsflash. News. Flash. The Fox has actually sent us, by the wonders of the interweb, his match report. Though it is, I should warn you, right, we're actually going to put this at the end of the show because parental advisory, explicit lyrics, and the broadcast. That particular video was sponsored by Miller Lite, it would appear.
Yeah, it looks like that.
And it was heavily sponsored.
It looks that way.
It's a bit beer goggly.
Yeah. Clothing wise and how would you put it? Psychologically.
Psychologically, yeah. Psychologically.
Definitely worth a watch though.
Definitely worth a watch, yeah. Okay, so back to we're in the final furlong. So fantasy news. Queeve is going to run the show.
We've been neglecting fantasy over the last few weeks in favour of some pretty good phone guests. So we said we get back on track, give the fantasy a bit more time this week. So last week threw up some fantastic matchups. We'll go through them here now briefly. I played against Choppers in combined scoring over 300 point matchup. Now, I won by 13 points in the end, 161 to 148. 148 would have been enough to cream pretty much any other of the fantasy teams
by 20 points.
By a fair bit. So, Choppers.
Well, Queeve, it must be said now that is probably the only week that you've even featured in the top 5 of scoring, I would say.
Well, yeah, it's not all about scoring. It's about beating what's put in front of you. And I did it this week, granted with a huge score. Thanks, not mainly, but partially to the lack of knowledge of how the game actually works by most of my other fellow participants. Me picking up D'Angelo Williams in the last spot in the waiver. Him putting up...
We went through this last week. And
I just had to say it again. Him putting up 36.5 points, which got me over the line. And he's now my main RB1 since Dion Lewis went down. So, you lose one, you gain one.
You got to pick him up.
Yeah. So, I won that by 13, moving me to 8-1, top of the league. Choppers 3 and 6, struggling to make the playoffs.
Yeah, this you can really. It's the first time there's actually a bit of separation in the league. One of the other games was the Battle of the Basement. The Fox managed to take down Duffers. And I actually, Fox, I think one of his running backs had 0.4. Like, he ran for 4 yards positive. And he actually won the matchup against Eddie Lacey, who had -1.
0.1. Ronnie Hillman had 0.1.
0.1. I thought
Eddie
he had
Lacey
0.4.
had -1.
He had -1. I was like really exaggerating there. Like, he had four times less than what I thought he had. And
just to show how bad these two teams are, it was Jay Cutler got the Fox over the line, and if Cutler's winning you fantasy matchups, you know you're not up against much.
Yeah.
So he beat Duffers 85-71. Duffers rock bottom last, and no hope of making the playoffs.
It could all turn it around. We could all turn it around. So like, we're in week 10, 11, 12, 13. There's only 4 games left in the regular season. Then week 14 will be, like, obviously
wild cards.
You're looking like getting a bye for week 14.
We're kind of going off topic now.
Okay.
We haven't gone through all the games yet.
Okay, well, keep going.
All right. Champagne Fever destroyed Bucking Pats 101-57.
And you are kind of giving out. Sean, he didn't really make that. There was a few changes he could have made.
He had a couple of inactives on his starting roster. I know he had a bench full of buys and inactive players too, but there are players you can pick up on the waiver to fill your team out.
Well, I know. 2 weeks ago I took a chance, and I held on to a few guys. I took a chance against the Fox, and I won. So it's Now,
to be fair, this is the first time he's been guilty of this. So maybe he was on holidays, or we'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Give him the benefit
for 1 week.
Okay.
All right.
So there's a bit of bunching. All right. Yeah. Go on.
Yeah. Those two were 4 and 4. So. Dino Champagne Fevers moved to 5 and 4. Bucking Pats dropped to 4 and 5. So that was a big win for Dino. We move on. You beat Lucky Jimmy, 107 points to 88. I was never really in doubt, I was
comfortable.
Yeah, you always had Rivers playing in last spot, and he's going to put up 15-20 points minimum usually. So that moves.
That Martellus Bennett had a nice. I think he. His tight end for the Chicago tight end.
He had a good game, yeah.
He picked up 15 points, I think, or something like that. So, but at the same time, I had 20 points to spare, and that it was looking like that all the way through.
Yeah. So that Jimmy moves down to 3 and 6, and moves yourself up to 5 and 4, right in playoff spot, 4th position in the league. Jimmy needs to, Yeah,
well, at the same time, I think there's 4 of us. There's actually 4 of us on 5 and 4.
Yeah, we'll come to the table in a second.
Okay.
Just 2 more matchups to report on. The Battle of the Brothers. Polly played his brother Brian. This has to, in the season and a half of fantasy that we have been doing, the final scores were 123.74 for Polly to 122.56. Making it a 1.18 victory. Now, it went down to the very last match, battle of their running backs, I think it was.
And they both had huge scores. Like, Polly was cute enough. He picked up Matt Forte's handcuff. Langford.
Yeah.
He had 20-odd points, I think, didn't he?
Yeah, 22.
And Danny Woodhead. Polly just always seemed to have the slight edge there, but Danny Woodhead put in a big 20 point plus score as well. So
17, yeah.
I think, was it 0.18, or I thought it was
I actually thought it was 0.18, but looking here it was 1.18.
1.18. So
still, that's probably it's probably the shortest margin of victory. Just the last of last week's matchups. Patrick Pint Lodgers, who was on a 6-game winning streak, was blown out by Decky Brady as a cheat by 113 points to 76. So Patrick's stalwart heavy point scorers didn't produce it on the day.
Devontae Freeman had a bit of an off day, but he still managed. I know
13.9 points. That's an off day for him, really.
He didn't actually have that many carries. I know he got his touchdown. Did he get 2 touchdowns there? But I think he only had about 40 or 50 yards of production.
He had only one touchdown, one receiving touchdown.
One receiving touchdown.
The Gronk, one of Patrick's main point scorers, didn't do it for him. Landry didn't really score that heavily. Ladarius Green, his tight end, didn't score any points at all.
Well, he's been active enough in the market as well. Ladarius Green, is he with the Chargers? Is he?
Yeah, I don't think he played because he was.
Antonio
injured,
Gates is obviously still playing as well, but he is actually carrying. He's got a.
He went off injured now Monday night, so.
But he's basically carrying an injury, and he's playing with the injury. But just going back on, we were saying about the Chargers, they're just completely decimated. So I don't know what kind of fantasy options they have anymore.
Yeah, you'll be dropping Philip Rivers soon, I'd say.
Well, he still seems to be getting the job done. So I can. I need to pick up a QB this week because Luck was going to be on bye anyway.
Yeah.
And
but he's
Philip
going to be out
Rivers
for 2 to 6 weeks now.
Yeah, we'll see. He's a tough guy.
Okay, so that's all last week's matchups. All in all, the league table looks like I'm sitting atop with 8-1, 4 wins on the bounce. Patrick Point Lodgers in second on his own, 7-2. As I said earlier, he was on a 6-game winning streak. Third place on his own is Decky, 6-3. He's 1-2 on the spin. Fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh are all 5-4. 4 floors, Polly, Champagne Fever, Nasib. So there's only 2 spots available in the playoffs from those 4.
Yeah, and obviously it's gonna come down to I'm actually top of the pile there now, whereas last year in a similar scenario I was bottom of the pile. That's why I missed out on the playoffs. So I think I've beaten Dino. I can't remember if I've beaten.
It'll go on head to head as opposed to points, won't it?
It goes to head to head, yeah.
So I mean, it's still all to play for. I mean, ninth.
Lucky Pat's is still. Lucky
Jimmy's still hanging in there. Chopper's still hanging in there. You got to reckon Fox and Duffers are done. Even if Duffer wins his last 4, he's 5-8. That's not going to get you in.
Yeah, we'll stick a fork.
Stick a fork in Fox and Duffers.
You're done, boys. You're done.
Right. Just go through today's waiver day, Wednesday's waiver day. See if there's any major pickups being done here. Champagne Fever picked up Blake Bortles, dropping Big Ben as he got injured over the weekend. Bortles is, he's reliable in that he'll get you somewhere between 10 and 20 points, and possibly he might even get higher than that. Lucky Jimmy picked up Vincent Jackson, dropping Colston. Fox picking up Julius Thomas. I picked up Starks because one of my main men, Dion Lewis, went down with an ACL tear at the weekend, which is very disappointing for me and for the Patriots. Anything else of note? The commish here picked up Carlos Williams, who I was in for as well, and probably quite a few others, so he got him.
Boom.
Dropping Danny Amendola.
Yeah, Danny didn't do it for me, and I need running back options, but I actually have plenty of cover at wide receiver. So anybody out there interested in a trade?
Yeah, I mean that goes for everybody. There's not been a whole lot of trades, so don't be shy in sending in a trade request.
Well, I went gagged like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I had a load of players I was trying to offload: Philip Rivers at his height and James Jones. Oh, James Jones is still a handy option out there for anybody. I think that he's going to put up a huge score this week against the Lions, and I've Devontae Adams, so I'm hoping for the old 1-2 double punch there from the Packers wideouts.
Yeah. All right. No other waivers of note. So if you want to talk about the top 3 in each of the separate categories for the last 4 weeks, I think it is.
Okay, I've just put up it's one of the options here on the site on the PC version. You can go for the last show the last 2 weeks, the last 4 weeks, the season, whatever. So the top 3 running backs of the last 4 weeks. Number 1, Drew Brees, obviously on the back of the huge game against the Giants. So he's and I think obviously must be a season to date totals 1,450, just shy of 1,500 passing yards, 12 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, He's got -2 rushing yards. Never really noted for his running ability.
No, they're the last 4 game
and
stats.
He's at a rush.
He's had 12 pass TDs in the last 4 games.
Away. Wow,
Yeah.
that's huge.
3
Isn't
at
it?
7 in the one game against the
I
Giants.
suppose so, yeah. Well, I suppose the numbers look a bit crazy.
Yeah.
Obviously, your boy, Tomáš Brady
TB12.
from Mayo. 1,300 pass yards, 11 pass touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and he was the main rushing there. Who was the main rushing?
The second last game was it? My brain's gone now.
Was it Giants? Was it our Jets or somebody? The Jets. I know they're playing the Giants this week. He's had 2 interceptions and he's had 2 2-pointers. Oh, sorry, that's Philip Rivers. Sorry. So Philip Rivers is third. Belonging in my stable of boys. 1,400 pass yards, 9 pass touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and
which is quite amazing considering his team are 2-7.
2-7
shows you how bad their defense is.
So the top running backs of the last 4 weeks, obviously, everybody would reckon Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley's actually number 3. The other main boy there, Devontae Freeman, has had a massive season. But the number 1 running back for the last 4 weeks is your boy,
Lamar Miller, yeah.
Lamar Miller.
He had a terrible start in the first 4 weeks. I think he was averaging 4
Well, I suppose that has
points.
to be like he had a huge game against the Texans.
But they went on by. They got the new manager in, and he's just been flying
they
ever
got
since.
the bounce back ability. Obviously, then they went to the Pats and they did nothing. So the last 4 weeks,
he's still got a big score there.
He's got 347 rush yards, 5 rushing touchdowns, 182 receiving yards. So like it's if your running back if he's getting a few receivings,
a dual role,
screen passers, the likes of Jamal Charles. That's why he's such a valuable fantasy option. And obviously the same for Devontae Freeman. He's just skirting around in the outskirts there every now and again. And he's getting the few screen passes from Mr. Ryan. So he's on 316 yards, 1 rush touchdown, and 180 receiving yards. Todd Gurley, not as good at receiving, but he's absolutely bulldozing it up front, and he's got 4 rush touchdowns. Okay, just look at the top wide receivers. Julio Jones, 58 points over the last 4 weeks. Only 2 receiving touchdowns and 1 lost fumble. Obviously, Odell Beckham, Lucky Jimmy's main man there, 58 points, just below Julio Jones, and 4 receiving touchdowns. And Antonio Brown, and like he's number 3, but like I think he had that one big week when Big Ben was back. I know Ben has gone away again, but like he hasn't been targeted at all by Landry, so that is an absolutely outstanding stat. 28 rush yards, nearly 5, just 20 yards short odd of 500 yards, and only 1 receiving. So that's he had a huge game last week, didn't he?
Against the Raiders, yeah.
284 yards or something like that.
He had over 30 of those 56 points last week.
Yeah. Top tight ends. And I'm surprised to see my boy Tyler Eifert not here. And I know he's on bye and he had 1 or 2 poor enough games, but he was obviously the star tight end of last week with 3 touchdowns. And that's what he got me off to a great start, 23 odd points I think he had, and that's basically what I beat Jimmy Boy last week. Yep. So Greg Olsen, obviously riding high in the Carolina, 341 yards. Ben Watson, the tight end in New Orleans. And obviously the Gronk. So the Gronk probably is just 4 yards shy of being top wide, but as we said a while ago, he had a bit of an off week there last week. And then obviously the flex, same. And we'll just go quickly. Top rated IDPs, Rashid Jones. I picked him for Queeve last week, which was my own downfall. He's actually a free agent. Luke Kuechly, who's of Carolina, riding high. And another free agent there, Carlos Dansby of Cleveland. So there's plenty of value there, lads, in the IDP position. 42 points over the last 4 weeks, 10 points a week. That's
pretty good.
If you can pick up 10 points from your
the
IDP,
week I played you, Rashad Jones only got me 6.
Yeah,
so.
That's the winning and the losing of the game. As you know well, like most games, I think 10 points is about the usual winning margin.
Yeah. No, I picked up JJ Watt instead.
The other boys are the kickers, obviously, which make a big difference. and they're usually pretty solid. Like Blair Walsh, he's on. You can pick him up the waiver. The Minnesota kicker, 48 points. Gostowski, Bucking Pats, who is and he is the Patriots kicker. He's always getting the old.
He's always the top kicker.
He's getting the points after. I'm actually surprised to see that the Seahawks. What's his name? Hauschka. He's always.
But the Seahawks just aren't scoring points.
Yeah, but they take the points. They take the points and offer so often. I suppose the Rams.
They do, but they rarely get over 20 points. So
yeah, the Rams guy would be the other guy that you say would kick a lot of goals.
Greg the Leg. Or Legatron, they call him.
The third guy, Chris Boswell, I was surprised to actually see him there as well, 37 points, and he's also a free agent. So a lot of guys stream their kickers depending on the opposition from week to week. And then the top three defenses for the last 4 weeks, obviously, the Broncos missed one week, so they're not. They were. I would think they're probably the top scoring defense still. I can't believe it's the Giants. 2 sacks, 8 interceptions, 5 fumble recoveries. Obviously that probably skewed again by that game against the Saints, where obviously it was a
fumble party.
It was a fumble party, balls going left, right, and centre. Obviously the Rams are second, 40 points. They're always year in year out one of the stronger defenses. 8 sacks for the last 4 weeks. Funny enough, Miami Dolphins there in third, owned by Bucking Pats Shawnee. So 15 sacks, and they had very few sacks in the first 5 or 6 games. Is one of the major reasons why Joe Philbin had to go.
Yep.
And I know Ndamukong Suh was absolutely, he did nothing for so long, and then he just had the breakout game there. So that's it, lads.
All right, we're just going to have a quick preview of Week 10's fantasy matchups.
Bring it on.
Okay, we'll start with I'm going to play Decky. Decky 6-3. I'm 8-1. Should be a very interesting matchup. I'm projecting 122. Decky's projecting 89. Of course, these don't mean anything. Some good, some good battles. Running back DeMarco Murray and Chris Ivory against D'Angelo Williams and Lamar Miller. All 4 players are scoring heavily of late. Quarterback battle: Rodgers versus Carson Palmer. Again, nothing much between those two. Watkins and Bryant against Bryant and Sanders. Again, 4 quality wide receivers. Jordan Reed against Greg Olsen. Olsen probably shading that slightly. The flex: Floyd against Brown, both on the same team for Arizona. So hopefully Carson Palmer will be favouring my boy Brown ahead of Floyd. And yeah, then we're just down to kickers, defenses, IDPs. Don't mean a whole lot, but they can win or lose you a game at the same time. Okay, move on. Duff, bottom of the league, plays Choppers, third bottom. Duff's projecting 102, Choppers projecting 116. Obviously, Choppers unlucky to lose to me last week with such a high score. Duff is, he's just playing for pride now at this stage. Champagne Fever play the Commish, 4 floors of Hoors. You want to weigh in on this one?
Sorry, no, just work away there, Queeve. I'm actually trying to get up the showstopper finale here. Okay.
All right. So they're both 5-4. Whoever wins this will take a big step towards the playoffs. I'm just looking at the lineups here. Yep. Eli Manning against. Michael actually hasn't drafted a new quarterback. He doesn't actually have a quarterback at the moment. So we'll have to wait and see on that. We got Darren McFadden and AP against Ryan Matthews and Ingram. So 1 good and 1, less than average running back apiece. James Jones and Mary Cooper versus Decker and Green. Give the advantage to Champagne Fever just about there. Jimmy Graham against Tyler Eifert. Eifert gets the nod there. The flex: Adams against Bernard. Wide receiver against the running back. Yeah, could go either way. Champagne Fever projecting to win handy, but I think it'll be a lot closer than that in reality. So, moving on, Fox's Army.
Sorry, just 2 seconds there.
You're ready to jump in now, are you?
I actually have, obviously, I think of 1 or 2 guys on bye, and I've 1 or 2 guys to come in. So yeah,
You're yet to make your move.
Yet to make my move.
All right, moving on. Fox's Army plays Lucky Jimmy's Battle of the Gingers. Lucky Jimmy's really needs to win this one to have any chance of the playoffs. Fox is pretty much dead and buried. Then we got Polly playing Pint Lodgers. Polly 5-4 against Patrick 7-2. Polly with a win here would again make great strides towards making the playoffs. You got to fancy Patrick is already there. Projections: Polly 106, Patrick 108. So that's going to be, it's probably going to be a tight affair. And then finally, Nasib plays Bucking Pats. Nasib 5-4, Bucking Pats 4-5. So again, Bucking Pats needs to win. He's on a bit of a losing streak. I think he's lost 4 on the bounce, or at least 3 on the bounce. And he needs to win that one to stay in the playoff picture. And yeah, that's next week's matchups.
The commentary box here now. The Browns are on their own 12 here there now. 14-10 still to the Bengals. We need another touchdown to get the fucking game put away.
There's going to be a run here when he's taking you.
Flag. Christy, put up the flag. Honestly, lads, Cork first and 15 there now for the Browns. Alright boys, it's half time here now from Browns Stadium. More specifically, the party deck, the lads our things. To be honest now, the free beer is kind of taken over from the football a small bit, but
Right track then.
the match is still going well.
And smile.
We're 14-10 up there now. I'd imagine we put another few points behind the board there. I'd say the Browns are kind of hanging in a small bit. Johnny Football there is fucking, I don't know about him, to be honest. Other than that now, cheerleaders there, we have an old photo there for you, Mick. I know you requested one of them.
Win the set now,
Apparently Owen reckons we're playing down the hill with the wind, and fucking what's my man's name? Ger Harrington from Carrigaline is actually even the umpire, so we should get a few easy points, I'd say, behind that goal anyway. That's all for now anyway. That's Pascal Sheehy, and far. See you boys. Right boys, I'm here with Mike Davis there from Cincinnati. He's a few words here. He's a former 84 linebacker, Chicago Bears. We need to bring our sport to your city, your country. Bring us over. We get a big shout out to the NFL. How about football? Big game.
My name's Shelby.
Shelby.
Nice to meet you. Claire.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm here with Shelby and Claire there now. Live from the party zone. What's your name, buddy? Hey, I'm Derek. I'm Derek as well. What's up? So they're here, big Browns fans, Bengals fans.
Here's the Bengals prowling, mean and angry. Here he comes the prowling, mean and hungry, an offensive brute, but has no boots. And defensively he's rough, tough. It's the Daddy Bengals. That's the team we're gonna cheer to victory. Touchdown Bengals, get the points upon that board and win the game for Cincinnati. hear that penguin growling. Mean and angry, here he comes a prowling. Mean and hungry and all.
What's your view on him? Is he good or bad, or is he a letdown?
Good. He's a dick, but he's good.
So, I get a big shout out there for the commissioner, Mick O'Brien there, say, Mick, I'll be over to say hi. Hi Mick there, say.
Hi.
Say hi Mick there from the girls. Hi Miko from the girls. Miko. Miko the commissioner.
Whatever he said. Hi. Hi, Nick.
Alright, Mick. The girls here said hello, how are things? Cork and NFL accent, signing off here now. Myself, Pascal Sheehy, and Phenom McGugan from the RTE. Back to you in office. Go Bengals, 41-10. Woo!
Senses thinking about who they proud. Gonna make them hear each other when they hear that crowd. Cause we never stop screaming, never stop believing, never stop the beat. And each team overseas and never lost the dream and never lost the meaning. Forever to the jungle, we pledge our allegiance.
Sorry about that, boys. Okay, I suppose this whole show, Queeve is a bit cranky here with me. The whole show has been a bit ramshackle today, but sure, look, that's the way it happens. So, thanks very much, especially those people who've listened in to the very, very end. So, think about it, boys. Give us a like.